Well, today's another sunny day, and I thought I'd show you around a bit. The snow's melting off the roof of the house in a funny pattern. See if we can show it to you here. It's got the blue roof, and ours is the red one that has the really funny melt pattern on the roof there. And it kind of shows you all the houses around here kind of look a lot alike. And I just show you some, walk down here, show you what's going on around town. Being that it's melting, we have slush, and then it freezes at nighttime and it turns to ice. But in the daytime, the roads are melting, and then it's easier to walk around. And we're just coming down and going down to, we have the park, and we have a community church. It's just anybody who's Christian or whatever they believe, but anyway, we all get together regardless of what denomination, and we have a potluck and get together and sing and worship together. We're coming down, the lake is behind these bluff of trees here, and we have an info center that's open in the spring and summer, and upstairs they sell all of the gifts, things people make, and then they have a museum downstairs, which I made a movie of the museum. And then down the road we've got the fish hatchery for the salmon. But see if we can get down here. Anyway, this is the community church right here. And there's the community church. And then down here is a park, and we'll just walk you through the park, and they light up the park at Christmas time, and it's very interesting to see at nighttime. It's very beautiful to walk through. And we'll come up to the info center, give you the grand tour. Oh boy. Well, in the summertime, right here there's a place called, there's a little sign there, it says New Beach, but it's kind of covered in snow. Anyway, down the hill over there behind the work yard, there's a road, and it goes down to the beach, and there are people camp down there, and they pay a little fee to the info center to use the space. Then further down the road there's other campgrounds and different places to stay. And then they're down the other end of town, we have places that people rent out to people who come. And when you come in the summertime, there's if you have a trailer or camper, then you can use the sandy dump. There's a little dump station, water fill up. There's a dog walking area. You have to clean up the dog waste after, because they don't let you leave it around. And All the park is lit up at night, so it's very nice to walk around in the daytime and at nighttime in it. And I'm just gonna walk through the park, show you some of the sights. We have a school and a medical clinic and an ambulance and a little corner store with the gas. And, well, let's see. I could walk this way. This is the info center here. Like I said, the bottom floor has museum. The top floor in the summer, spring and summer, has a craft fair thing where people make stuff and sell. And they have the Remembrance Day cenotaph thing there that they do the ceremonies as well. And then this here is the dog walking path. And so if you have dogs, you go this way. And then we'll catch up to the other path where the other walking area is, but you can see a little more of the lake area if we go this way from the tree line. Now, sometimes they don't have this cleared, but obviously the guy's working on it, so we're going to meet up with somebody working here. We have a good crew of people who clean the roads and sand them and look after stuff. Somebody's working away here. I don't know if I can get past them, but I can try. Just wait. There we go. There's the snowblower machine. Okay. Now let's just go this way. This is the back road. And in the summertime you can see the lake there. It's clear, but right now it's kind of frozen over. And yeah, ice fish here. They use a drill down and to the ice and go fishing. And you can have picnics down here. And we got the lookout onto the lake. It's quite a long lake. We're kind of in the middle, but it's like 110 kilometers long or something. Something like that anyway. But we'll show you the lookout here. I don't know how much you can see, but anyway, there's some of the lake. You see way down there is one end. Can't see the end of it from here. And then it goes way down the other way. You can't see that either because the trees are in the way. But anyway, gives you an idea of what people go ice fishing and skidooing and hiking across the lake when it's frozen. those are 2 islands there, and then there's more land on the other side. Like, so those islands are kind of in the middle of the lake, so it's still quite wide. Anyway, we'll go back here and go up to the other trail. The woodpecker make holes in the trees, eating the bugs there. Yeah. But they did that in the summer or the fall. I don't see them out now. Okay. In the summertime, there's the path goes up behind the bandstand. So it goes this way here. They haven't got it all cleared out, but you can see the path goes up behind the bandstand, and there's a little bit more path there, and a couple of picnic tables. And I'm going back up top so I can go to the other trail, because this isn't finished being cleared out, and show you some more. We're heading up the hill here. Okay. It's the back side of the info center. They have an art group that meets there too and does things. Okay. I just go slow here because it's kind of icy. And head over to the other path. They have parades and activities during the spring and summer. And lots of people coming and going and camping. And in the winter they have, like I said, just about fell on my butt, ice fishing and skidooing and snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. And there's the school. They're just rebuilding it. And see, they have the Christmas lights still on. They leave them for a while and then they take them down later, but they don't turn them on now. It's past Christmas. But there's picnic tables and other things along the path. And I'll just show you that. Okay, just checking to see if it was still working. Sometimes it turns itself off. So, I'm glad it's still doing something, hopefully. Anyway, we are heading down the trail here. And there's 2 paths, or 3 here. And it has recycled rubber bits, so it's really good for older people and young people to walk on here so that they don't hurt themselves. And you've got the spongy texture. So there's the bandstand. At Christmas time we had a display, one of those wise men and baby Jesus and Mary and all that. And they were pretty life-sized in there, all lit up. And then we've got the path that goes right in front of there. And then I'm going to take this other one here and go this way. We have a little archway here we can go under, and the back path that wasn't cleared, there's a little bridge you can kind of walk over in the summertime on that back there, but it's all covered with snow right now. And this all has bushes and trees and little flowers, and this is quite attractive looking. So there we go, there's the bandstand. You can do lots of different activities with that. Put music in there and have different groups doing things. We're coming up to the fire department, which I'm a member. That red building and the building behind it, that's all the fire department. And we're coming to some icy spots here, so I gotta be careful again. Whoa! Yes, almost landed on my butt again. I gotta watch this. Whoa. Okay. Okay, here is our lovely fire department building. We just got a new sign. Okay, and there's my husband, Grandpa. He's pointing at me. I guess I gotta go now. So we'll see. Oh, I lost my glove? Where did I lose it? Oh, well, that's a good thing. He showed up. I lost my glove. There we go. Now I have 2 gloves. Okay, let's see if I can get some more things done here. I'm making a movie. I'm making a movie. Thanks for helping me find my glove. I didn't know I lost it. Yeah, okay. I'll give him to you so I don't lose him. Yeah. Okay, see you. Okay, so we're back to showing you around town. Let's see. This is the town office there. You'd call it City Hall, but we don't have a city. Town of Grand Isle, yes. Okay, and then there's the back of the ice rink. And we're going down here to show you the other end of the lake that you couldn't see through the trees. And then we'll come up and show you the rest of the town. Okay. Yeah, they do hunting here and fishing in the spring, summer, fall, winter. Depends on what it is. Okay. So it's Babine Lake. And then we have a boat launch and a they call it the yacht club. Well, some of the boats are pretty big. They get some big sailboats and some big sort of houseboats up here, and they keep them at the dock for a few months. Some people. Other people just have small boats and they haul them back and forth. Anyway, so show you the scenery as we walk down the hill here. There's a couple guys ice fishing out there. In the summertime and spring, once the ice breaks up, breakup's usually March, April, sometimes May, depends on how cold it is. And then once the ice is all melted off, then there's times where the wind comes up through the valley here, and it laps up on the waves and makes it like the ocean. You'd think it was the tide coming in and out in the waves. And then we get gulls when the salmon's running, and it smells like the ocean because you get all these dead fish when the fish die after their spawning time. But I'll just come down and show you this area here, and then I'll come back up the hill. Now we have a lot of well, I'll just show you the view here, and I don't want to walk all the way down to the bottom and back, so I'm just gonna, I often do, but I've already had my walk. Anyway, these are rental units here, these buildings up here, for rent by the month, but they also have rentals for tourists and people who come just for short times too. And they also do weddings and stuff in some of these places. I'm only halfway up the hill. If I go down to the bottom and back up, it's quite a bit steeper than what you're seeing here. And then we have our internet that we get. I think that's an internet antenna, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so we're going to come back to the top of the hill, and I'm going to show you some more of the buildings in town. And in the winter time we get some ice under the road, and then we get these cracks. That's called like an ice heave. And then the summertime or fall, they come and fill them in with tar, and looks like you got giant snakes on the road when it's all dried up, because the cracks are blacker than the rest of it. But that's usual in northern places. You get the ice heave under the roads. Anyway, we have a medical clinic, and yeah, they're doing a good job remodeling the school. They took down a bunch of it, and they've got part of it. They got another month of work on it, and then they've got it finally finished, the new part. The snow drifts after the snowplows clean the road. It's kind of starting to melt. Looks like something from the Arctic. Anyway. And this is the post office and the curling rink, and they have a little restaurant in there, and then there's the ice rink, which they use for storage sometimes. And this is the town office here. I don't know how you can see the sign very well, but Village, the Corporation of the Village of Grand Isle, Village Square, Village Office. And sometimes in the summertime there's a carved sign that has a big bear on it, but I don't see it here right now. They probably took it down because it needs painting or something. Anyway, so, and there's the school they're working on, but they've, like I said, they've almost got it finished, which is kind of nice. They've been working on it for a while. And yesterday, the day before, we had like giant icicles hanging from the eaves of this building here, but they've melted today because it was sunny. And you can see the sign, warning, beware of snow and ice falling from roof. So you have to go, you see where that handicap sign is there with the wheelchair, the blue, you got to go in from that end, so if the icicles fall down, you don't get stabbed by the icicles. So they were about 5-6 feet long a couple days ago. Anyway, so there's the post office, and then here's some of the schoolyard and some of the houses. But we have several roads back up in the hillside there with more houses. And then we have a police station at the top of the hill here. The police station's on the right hand side. A little brown building right at the tree line. And there's Granelle traffic. Not much, but anyway. Okay, so down around the corner here we've got the ambulance, the medical building, and the gas station. So we got the general store, which is just kind of a grocery store, like gas station grocery store. The red one down there with the Esso sign. And then over here in these green buildings we've got the medical center, and the ambulance is over there. And then those peachy buildings down below there, they rent those out and to people that come here. And then this is another park. We have a couple more parks in between houses. And there's a little shelter there where we have barbecues and stuff. And I'm not going to walk you around the whole town, but I'll just walk you past and back to the house again. And you've got roads with more houses up above there. And we'll just head back to the house again. And this is a mini tour showing you around it. We have a lot of eagles in the summer and fall when the salmon are out. Lots of crows and ravens. There's the schoolyard. They have tennis courts, and we have the baseball tournaments here. The baseball diamond on this other corner, but you can't see it yet because the snowdrift is too high. And they have the playground equipment for the school that kids come and play on. And they have, I think there's a couple of goalposts there if you want to play soccer or football or something. I don't know what, but they're metal, so they're quite sturdy. Let's see if we can go across here and show you from this angle. They have quite a few baseball, softball tournaments and things here. There's the corner baseball diamond and the posts there for the other things. And you can see the school bus, and there's the school playground equipment way down there. And we're heading back. And then we have people renting and living these. And we're heading back to the house. And my dad used to say when we were kids and we'd be off somewhere and come home from a drive in the country, home again, jiggity jig. And my fingers are getting cold because I haven't been wearing my gloves so I can hold the computer, the laptop, so it doesn't fall. Looks like Grandpa made it back to the house before me. He was warming up the truck so that it's easier to start. If you leave things in the cold too long, or you gotta actually plug heaters in so the motors start. It gets quite cold and they don't want to start. So Grandpa had to put some sand and some salt on the driveway because the truck went sliding down the driveway last night. Kind of weird. I went for a walk, came back, and the truck was sticking out on the road here. But anyway, it's like he put some wood in. There's a little bit of smoke coming out of the chimney. So here we go. I'm gonna make sure I don't slip on this ice here as I'm coming up the driveway. Here I go. So as you can see, a little bit of sand there. And let's see if I can get my gloves out of here. Oh, he must have taken them in. I don't see them in the truck. Okay. Well, and there is the snow shovel, little one there that he uses, and plugs the car in, the trucks, cars, motors, that yellow cord there, and a heater, so he heats them up. So I'm just gonna say you another time. Let's see how much of this turned out. My fingers are so cold I can't find the thing to turn it off with, so I think I'm just going to go in the house and check it out. Oh, wait a minute. I might be able to get this. There we go.